welcome to the Staffordshire Worcestershire Canal. I've just cast out for the first time. So named because, for obvious reasons, it passes through both of those counties, and the former is where I was born as well. I've been here a while and I've just had my first bite. It was a roach bite, you can tell from the reaction of the float. Too many boats for my liking though. I'm usually here very early before they start, but today I've got a long working day ahead of me. I've got a game this evening, and so I didn't want to be up too early, especially when I won't be going to bed till the early hours of the morning. You have to work around these things, don't you, and plan, and things have to give. And as long as I can go fishing, that's fine. Be nice to catch a fish though. It is slow, and of course it's that time of the year when we do notice a change in the feeding habits of fish. But as long as your bait's in the water, you've got a chance. I think it's true to say I'm in the position where I'm angling for one fish. It's been incredibly slow. I've been here about an hour and a half. I'm intending to stay a couple of hours, maybe squeeze out a little bit more, especially if I'm trying to avoid the dreaded blank. But I'll still do a blog entry on it, purely and simply because as anglers, we have blanks. These things happen. If you fish a commercial water and you perhaps fish it at the right time, although those are places that are stocked well anyway. But and it's not being critical of commercial venues, by the way. I think they serve a great purpose. But once you start to move beyond that to places that aren't necessarily stocked, they are more natural and more wild, when it does become more precarious as far as avoiding a fishless session is concerned. More so as you move on in the year. But if you're like me, you tend to go to these type of places, then you know all about blanks. And I think it's important, and that's why I'm putting it in the blog entry, regardless of whether I do get something on the bank or not. I think it's important not to be frightened of a blank. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I think there are some anglers who don't like to talk about the times they go fishing and they don't catch, especially if you're in the public eye and you're a writer, and it's important to give that impression you feel in your mind that you catch, and not only catch every time you go, but also catch big, because you have a reputation to live up to. As far as I'm concerned, there's no reputation. I'm not fishing for headlines. I go out angling purely and simply 100% because I love it, and obviously I want to catch some fish, and I'm still living in hope. It is a difficult though, that's obvious. When you've been somewhere 1.5 hours, you get the idea of what's going on. But when I do have those times that I don't catch anything, I still get something from it. I still get something from it from an angling perspective. I think, not too deeply, but I think and I analyse and think to myself, should I have gone for a different approach? Should I have fished somewhere else? Maybe tried a different bait, tactic or whatever. But above all, I enjoy it. Even with my naked eye, I've been watching a tree creeper on the far side of the canal, going up there, a willow tree that's just directly in front of me. And some of my best nature sightings have come when I've been out at the water's edge. So there's no such thing as a wasted session, no such session whereby you think to yourself, I should have stayed at home, should have done something else instead. It's all worthwhile. And as I've mentioned a few times recently, I'm quite windy. I've got my brolly up, by the way, because I'm trying to make the filming come out better. It is a dry day, but there's a few times I've mentioned recently about the great outdoors, and how great it is indeed. And hopefully I will be back with a fish, but if not, no problem. I've enjoyed it anyway. Good things come to those who wait. It's a nice enough roach for the canal. I'm ready to go now. Next up, JD Cymru Premier, match day 2 between the New Saints and Connors Quay Nomads.